I chose the trigger wrongly blamed at work. Colleague sets him up to take the fall for a failed project or legal issue. From the very beginning, I was a man with a simple dream. To work hard, earn my place, and provide a good life for my family. I believed in loyalty, in integrity, in doing what was right. I had a close group of friends at work, people I trusted, people I thought had my back. We shared late nights, coffee runs, and whispered hopes of climbing higher together. I poured my sweat into every project, every task, knowing that my effort was my word. I was proud of the man I was becoming, proud of the honest work I did, but beneath that trust, I was naive. I never saw the storm coming. Then came the day everything changed. It was a Monday, the kind of day I'd normally face with confidence. But as I sat in the conference room, clutching a report I'd spent weeks on, I saw the looks on their faces. Cold, calculating. My colleague, Mark, stood up and pointed fingers at me, claiming I'd manipulated data, fudged numbers, and caused a legal mess that could ruin everything. I felt my stomach drop. My heart pounded so loud I thought everyone could hear it. The room spun as accusations flew. Mark's voice was steady, smooth, and convincing, but I knew the truth. I had done nothing wrong. Yet, the management's eyes were clouded, swayed by his lies. I was silenced, blamed, and humiliated in front of everyone I worked so hard to impress. I couldn't believe it. My world, my reputation, my integrity all shattered in an instant. I was cast out like a thief. And the worst part was I had no one to turn to. My own friends turned away. They believed the lies. I sank into a dark place, feeling the heavy weight of betrayal crushing my chest. The pain was raw, a deep burn that refused to fade. But I refused to stay broken. I knew I had to find a way to clear my name. I started digging, quietly, secretly. I studied every document, every report, every conversation I had ever had with Mark. I listened to the whispers in the hallways, watched how people looked at me now, disgusted, suspicious. I felt the cold sting of rejection every day, but I used that pain as fuel. I reached out to allies I'd once trusted, people who still believed in me. I built a plan, step by step, like an architect designing a fortress. I kept my movements silent, knowing Mark was watching, waiting for me to slip. I felt the sharp sting of betrayal every time I saw his smug face, but I knew I had to bide my time. I gathered evidence, pieces of the puzzle that would expose him. I learned his weaknesses, his ego, his need for power. I used my silence as a weapon, letting him think I was defeated while I quietly prepared my strike. The smell of stale coffee and cold metal in my office kept me grounded, reminding me of the long nights I endured. The faint hum of the fluorescent lights became my soundtrack. I stayed patient, watching him grow comfortable, confident that I was finished. But I wasn't. Then, the moment arrived. It was a day I will never forget. I scheduled a meeting with the board, a formal presentation I had meticulously prepared. As I stood before them, I revealed everything. Proof of Mark's manipulation, his lies, his betrayal. I laid out the facts in cold, clear detail, watching his face turn white. His jaw clenched, but he couldn't deny it. The room was silent, then erupted in whispers and shock. The truth was out, and I had finally served justice. That day, I watched him crumble under the weight of his own lies. The man who had betrayed me was now exposed, powerless, defeated. But my story didn't end there. I used that pain, that deep betrayal, to build something greater. I started a company that helps honest workers clear their names, rebuild their lives, and find justice after betrayal. I became a mentor to those who felt forgotten, a voice for the silenced. I turned my suffering into strength, my shame into a foundation for others to stand on. Today, I stand tall, knowing I reclaimed my dignity. I am not just a man who was betrayed. I am a man who rose from the ashes, stronger and wiser. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to this channel.